Namaskar and welcome to Sansad Television. I am Vishal Dahiya and you're watching our show Perspective. Today we will take up the issue of Mission Millets for discussion. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday inaugurated the Global Millets Conference in New Delhi, terming it as a symbol of India's responsibilities towards the global good. Prime Minister Modi also said that millets are becoming a medium of holistic development in India, and India's millet mission will prove to be a boon for 2.5 crore millet producing farmers of the country. Let's listen into the Prime Minister first.
भारत में मिलेट्स की पैदावार से करीब करीब 2.5 करोड़ छोटे किसान सीधे जुड़े हुए हैं। इनमें से ज्यादातर के पास बहुत कम जमीन है और उन्हें जलवायु परिवर्तन की चुनौतियों का भी सबसे ज्यादा सामना करना पड़ता है। भारत का मिलेट मिशन श्री अन्न के लिए शुरू हुआ ये अभियान देश के 2.5 करोड़ किसानों के लिए वरदान साबित होने जा रहा है। जब मिलेट श्री अन्न का मार्केट बढ़ेगा तो इन 2.5 करोड़ छोटे किसानों की आय बढ़ेगी। इससे ग्रामीण अर्थव्यवस्था को भी बहुत लाभ मिलेगा। प्रोसेस और पैकेज फूड आइटम्स के जरिए मिलेट्स अब स्टोर्स और मार्केट तक पहुंच रहा है।
The Prime Minister also declared the Indian Institute of Millets Research of ICAR as a global center of excellence. As proposed by India, 2023 has been declared as International Year of Millets by United Nations General Assembly, that is UNGA. India is exporting millets to 139 countries across the globe, and Indian government has also been promoting millet production as part of its national food security mission. So today we will discuss and analyze the significance and impact of Mission Millets in India, and what is it that we're doing, what kind of improvement it will bring in for the farmers and for the general public as well. For more on this, we're joined by a distinguished panel of experts. Let me first introduce them to you, beginning with Dr. M.J. Khan, who's joining us here. He's the chairman of ICFA, that is Indian Chamber of Food and Agriculture. Welcome, Dr. Khan, to our studios. We are also joined by two more distinguished panelists. I'd like to introduce them to you. Dr. S.K. Malhotra is joining us. He's Director, Knowledge Management in the Agriculture Ministry, Government of India. And Mr. Sandeep Das, senior journalist who keeps a close tab on all these issues, is also joining us. Welcome, both of you also, to our show. I'll begin with you, Dr. Malhotra. And let's first start by, summarizing for our viewers the key highlights or the key points of Mission Millets. What is it all about? Dr. Malhotra?
Yeah, in fact, it's a very important mission. And here we need to promote the millet crops in a mission mode. This was realized by the government because these are the crops which belongs to us. Because these are the crops which have their center of origin, India. So keeping in view India in highlight, and again, we need to see that these are our conventional crops and we need to include them in our food. Earlier, they were the important part of our food, and moreover, there is more burden on two crops. One is wheat, another one is rice. So we need to reduce the burden on these two crops, and we need to include these crops into our system, in cropping systems, so that we can address the issue of food security, nutritional security, as well as environmental issues, as we discuss the impact of climate change. So these are the crops which are very important, and they address all these three issues. So considering the importance, the millet has been included in the millet mission program, and Government of India started in 2018 national mission for millets, then gave the new name. It has come Shri Anna because we want to promote it with a new brand name, Shri Anna, in the international market, so that we can say that yes, these are the Indian millets which are required to be promoted, and our Indian farmer will definitely get a boost, and they will get a kind of fillip that how we can further promote our own millets. Our farmer will get the benefit, and we can showcase at the international level that millets are our strength. And after independence, up to 1960, they were the very important part of our food.
Indeed.
But later on, when Green Revolution came, we started keeping these crops aside.
Okay.
But now the time has come. We need to again look into and see that how we can include into our food,
Okay.
and we can diversify our food basket.
Okay, okay. That pretty much explains various aspects of the mission there. The nutritional aspects, as Dr. Malhotra was pointing out, the food security aspect, the environmental aspect as well. But the Prime Minister, in today's conference, in his address, pointed out another important aspect, and all these are interrelated. That's about the farmers who grow them, and it brings prosperity to them as well. It serves multi purposes here. How would that happen, Dr. Khan?
See, this is a great time for India, because on the persuasion of the India, the UN has declared it a year of millets. By launching this millets mission, it has to be made a movement of masses. And by making that, first, that primary stakeholder, who is farmer, he need to be in profits. Because so far, the growers of millet, they were left to fend for themselves. Now that the government of India is carrying, the entire system is carrying, the ecosystem that has been developed is in favor of that. And why not? Because millets are climate smart, as Dr. Malhotra pointed out. These are health smart. We know the gluten free. And these are the nutrition smart, because we know the nutrient profile of that. But I would also like to add that it is nature smart, because today when the natural farming is being promoted, these are the crops which require minimum application of inputs, chemical, fertilizer, pesticide, and so on. So farmer has to be made profitable by improving the productivity of that, and the market has to be prepared to pay more for it. And that is where the awareness goes up, the demand goes up. So all the four aspects are to be addressed, and where I am sure that this mission will address. One, productivity related. The yields have to go up for farmer to make more money. The market related. It has to be more innovation in the food, so that consumer gets the choice and he goes for it.
Okay.
Three, the trade issues are to be addressed, so that export opportunities are tapped. Who else will than India? 20% of all millets put together we do produce. And fourth is the greater cooperation, collaboration among the nations, among the research institutions, among the chambers, among the trade bodies and the exporters. And finally, what has been declared in this is the Global Excellence Center in IMR Hyderabad. This must come up with lot more innovations, so that ready-to-eat millet products are available across all stores and everywhere in the world.
Okay.
India benefits by that, farmer benefits by that.
Okay, okay. And we're already making waves in the world. We're exporting to approximately
All our
139
embassies are
countries.
celebrating nationwide.
Yeah, and this is the also Global Year of Millets, so a good opportunity for us. Sandeep, I'd like to bring you in here, and we would want you to analyze the process which is being adopted, the strategy which is being adopted in Mission Millets, various aspects, as both Dr. Khan and Dr. Malhotra were pointing out, be it in terms of productivity, in terms of market-related or research and innovation as well. How would you analyze this strategy which is being adopted? Are we on the right path?
See, I must tell that millet, as we have already been discussed, that millet was one of the original crop we used to grow, and it's in rain-fed areas and it's climate resistant. But fact remains that over the years, what has happened, there is no procurement, hardly any procurement. Current Kharif, the government has targeted to procure close to 1 million ton of millet. It's the procurement, markets, and productivity. These are linked. If you don't procure what is produced, then farmers will lose interest. On the mission mode, essentially, the idea is to, even if you look at the National Food Security Act, it also says that coarse cereal has to be given along with the rice and wheat. So that kind of thing we need to give boost to them, because there are 2.5 million 25 million farmers doing millets, and it's mostly in the short term, and productivity issues are there. So that kind of thrust we need to produce more, procure more, and the encouraging part of it, you must have seen the last couple of months, even the corporate have jumped into it. Many of the big companies are getting into the millet-related product, ready-to-eat products specifically, essentially. The idea is to now the whole value chain has to be a little bit streamlined, because currently the value chain is still evolving. Obviously, we are still developing that value chain. So for me, the farmers is the core part of the farmers have to need to be encouraged, giving incentives and the procurement of those commodities, ragi, bajra, and all kind of millets to produce. And some of the states have on the mission mode, millet procurement and all. So that's how so that farmers has to be compensated as the Prime Minister also mentioned that it will encourage the rural economy. Millets are the crop. I must tell you that the research part has to go a little bit deeper into the productivity part and shelf life. That two aspects important because millet has a very short shelf life. So that part has to be taken into account, and it's because of the health consideration of because these are nutritious products. So millet is a very win-win kind of crop, and it can be blended with many of the other commodities like food product. I'm very bullish in terms of particularly when the corporate companies join into this seeing opportunity. Big companies, Tata, ITC, and I can name a couple of them. They are into millet-based product. So that means that the value chain has gradually been developed.
Okay.
And millet will be I think next 5 to 10 years, I think millet crop will get a boost. It has to coexist with the current crop. We can reduce our dependence on, as Dr. Malhotra said, we need to reduce our dependence on the core rice and wheat. Okay. At least for the climate change issue, for dealing with the climate change issue, because these are water-intensive crop, rice and wheat. Okay. Millets are less water-intensive crop. So next 5 to 10 years, our focus should be on production, productivity, and creating the value chain for the farmers, so the farmers ultimately gains out of this product.
Okay. Of course, all aspects in this entire ecosystem are correlated. All stakeholders are equally important. Dr. Khan, in terms of research and innovation, and ensuring the productivity part there as well, how do we go ahead that there is this correlation, this focus brings us the desired results? Because if we have proper production, that is one in terms of volume, and two also in terms of quality and the shelf life as well.
See, there are three components. One, the consumers. Consumers' perspectives must be inbuilt in the research program so that whatever comes out gets the best market acceptability. The second is the industry. Industry knows how to process it, how to pack it, how to make products out of it. By extension, today's time, it means startups also, because startups are playing key role. And today, Honorable Prime Minister has specifically mentioned the role of startups. The third is the producer. In context of producer, it is the productivity related and quality related issues that need to be researched. And there are a lot of ideas flowing. So it must be made a movement of masses so that ideas are generated that are taken seriously by the research institution, and there is a greater collaboration among the industry, the startups, the research bodies, led by the Global Center of Excellence in Research under IMR. But also, there is a lot of research that ICAR is doing at global level. Incidentally, out of 18 global research institutions, the only one headquartered in India is the ICAR in Hyderabad. And IMR is also headquartered in Hyderabad. ICAR has got 3 sub-centers in Africa. So, Africa and Asia put together make about 97% of all millet production. So, India has great opportunity that it's both the apex institutions, global and national, are headquartered in Hyderabad, and the perspective of Africa is available. Lot of energy and enthusiasm and ideas and innovations of the startups, but not only confining to that, it must be debating and discussions must be taken to the academic institutions, so that students who are much larger in number, about 500,000 agriculture students alone, can bring a lot of ideas. So those are to be researched, and it is not only the production or productivity related, but also research in supply chain, research in value chain development, research in new products innovation. That is where the most important part is, because if market expands, everything else falls in line. So the most focus has got to be on market and extension of that, the trade, which is exports.
Okay. So it is about, again, the correlation between the markets, the production, and other stakeholders. Interestingly, you brought in the issue of, students being roped in, because they're the ones who will then eventually go and come up with new ideas there as well. But again, the consumer part, I'd like to bring in Sandeep here. Sandeep, ultimately, any product is as good as, it feels good for the consumers. And therein it becomes really important for millets to be made, more appealing to the consumers in the market. Of course, it's not the first time that millets are being used. Millets have been in use for quite some time, but they seem to have lost that appeal. That appeal has to be brought back in. How do we do that?
Essentially, I must bring it point here. The Indian Institute of Millet Research, which has been referred as the Center of Excellence today, and has also bring out a lot of product in terms of ready-to-eat products, which has been adopted by many of the industries. That millet, the taste part is the most critical part of it. How to make millet product tasteful, the consumer preference should be built. Even one of the big corporate house has been doing research on millet product for the last almost like 2011 especially. If obviously that taste part has to be researched upon, developing new product, new variety. Now we have a lot of product in terms of millet noodles, millet biscuit, millet namkeen, millet cookies.
Okay.
And we have a lot of product in the pipeline already available in the market, essentially. Ragi atta, one of the ragi flour atta is one of the product I can refer to, essentially. And now also millet has taken, see, one of the best part of the millet story is that in the last, say, about one or 1.5 years or maybe 2 years, millet has been accepted as a product which is a crop which is healthy, which is economical, and also it should be part of the daily health diet, essentially. But the back end portion of it, which is the farmers, that part has to be taken care of, because I said earlier in the program, that procurement part, the production part has to be taken care of, productivity has to be taken care of, and the government is trying to promote millet procurement and millet production in the next 4 to 5 years.
Okay. Dr. Khan, you wanted to say something?
Yes, one more.
The key part is that
I'll come back to you, Sandeep. I'll come back to you. Yes, Dr. Khan.
Very important aspect in that is the policy support, policy intervention, because if market explodes the way the promotion is being done, suddenly the demand goes up, and if the production is not available, then what happens is the prices shoot up, and that will have a negative impact on the overall consumption or long-term trend. Therefore, one policy support in terms of matching the production with the demand. So here the focus on production, what we have been talking about market. Second is that MSP.
Okay.
State governments must play that role, and that must go up to district level.
Okay. So all levels of administration will have to be on the same page to ensure that we bring in this much desired change. Dr. Malhotra, now we have seem to have fine connection with you. In terms of two aspects which I was earlier talking about. One is research focused on production, and two is making millets more appealing to the consumers.
Exactly. Yeah, here now, because for millets, because these are the crops, we call them crops for the adversities. These are grown in the rain-fed ecosystem, and we need to have crops which can, we need to have varieties which can have tolerance to the drought conditions, and with the minimal water available conditions, we can grow them. So our Indian Institute of Millet Research, which is the very important institute of Indian Council of Agriculture Research, is putting efforts to generate technologies which are location and situation specific. So far, 93 varieties have been developed for millet crops, which are having tolerance to the drought conditions, and even they contain high nutrient contents. Biofortified varieties, we call them. So biofortified varieties have been developed because quality is also equally important. And here, how we can enhance the quality, intrinsic quality as well as extrinsic quality. Both of the qualities are required to be enhanced if our millets are to be, those are to be pushed at the international level. So now our own millets are getting the acceptability. So our focus is on development of the biofortified varieties, drought-tolerant varieties, stress-tolerant varieties. So today in this international seminar conference, 6 sessions have been fixed. And in all these 6 sessions, we are discussing with the different countries. That first part is how we can enhance the productivity, and productivity barriers are there, how we can break those productivity barriers through genomic resources, and genomic resources are required to be utilized from that point of view.
Okay.
So that those barriers are required to be broken, and then further enhancing the quality, and then increasing the demand through quality enhancement. New innovative products are required to be developed, and new startups, they should come forward. So we are promoting those startups through NutriHub. That NutriHub has been established at the Indian Institute of Millet Research. Now, Indian Institute of Millet Research has been declared as a global
center of excellence
for millets, and this institute will provide guidance to the whole world that how we need to move forward. A lot of biodiversity is available with us, and those biodiversities have been evaluated and screened. And that on the basis of screening for high nutrients, iron content, zinc content, calcium content, and then gluten-free aspect, and then further low glycemic.
Okay. Indeed, those are the points. Again, we seem to have lost connectivity with Dr. Malhotra once more. But Sandeep, I'd like to bring you in for the final concluding comment. And, earlier you were also referring to these aspects which Dr. Malhotra was highlighting, which are being discussed at this, global summit. in terms of increasing productivity in such a way that it not only increases in volume, but also in value.
Correct, essentially. I said that in terms of, we need to have a quality product to be put in the markets. For that, you said, Dr. Malhotra has referred to many of the varieties developed by the Indian Institute of Millet Research and all. We need to have better quality, better management practice at the agriculture, at the field, essentially. Because currently what is used to happen about a couple of years back, the millet was mostly grown for their self-consumption and a little bit of used to come to market. Now that the market has been developed with all kind of publicity, all kind of activities like international conference and United Nations entire year, a lot of events are being organized. And I must tell you that there is also export potential of the millet here. We are the biggest exporter, 40% production of millet we produce and we also export a lot of millets. So that export opportunity has to be harnessed. For that, you need to super quality of product, essentially. So that value chain aspect has to be taken care of. Value chain has to be focused upon and such kind of conference has given a really kind of networking ability, and you can learn from other countries' experience and all.
Okay.
And also indigenous knowledge, because we had this knowledge for long actually. Ragi, baja, these are our own crop essentially. So that kind of thing will happen over the years once farmers get that incentive to produce. That there is the value chain is automatically developed. For me, the positive part of is that corporate has already joined into that. There is a market, the sense there is a huge amount of market.
Okay.
And millet product has to come into market with a real consciousness.
Okay.
With health conscious public, consumer demand will grow up, and we have a win-win for, I think, for the farmers, for the environment, for the climate, as well as for
the consumers, as well as you're pointing out. Thank you so much, Sandeep, there for sharing that information. Dr. Malhotra, Dr. Khan as well. We're running short of time. We'll definitely have another round of discussion. More rounds of discussions, rather.
Just one point.
Yes, please.
Research and awareness and innovation about ready to cook and ready to eat, because housewives face difficulty, they don't know how to cook it, especially in North India.
Indeed.
So these two areas are to be
These two areas also have to be taken into consideration. Wonderful and valid point there, to ensure that how that product has to be used. Thank you again, Dr. Khan. So there it is, our experts pointing out various aspects of millets and the mission millets. Shri Anna, as it is being known right now, a sort of a wonder food, if we can call it, or in terms of qualities, be it nutritional, be it the ones which we help the environment as well, and also help our farmers who produce these millets. The ultimate idea is to ensure that the consumers who eat millets are healthy, get nutritious food, and the producers, that is farmers, they also get their due in terms of the food they grow, that is millets. We'll keep a close watch on all the developments here on mission millets and the use of millets as well, and come back again with different topics also. Till then, keep watching Sansad Television. Thank you.